Hey Michelle, we're taking a little break here between our drone lesson videos to do a little application of the modes. So we've talked about several modes already. We've gone over them over a drone, experimented around with them. We've talked about how we figure out what the notes are in a mode based off of how we know about the major scale. So let's take what we've learned already, even though we don't have all the modes in our inventory yet. Let's take the ones that we have, and let's take a melody that we both know really well, and let's see what we can do with these modes, what tools these modes are for us when we're either creating something or recreating something that's already been made. So in this case, we're going to take the song Siciliano, and I'm going off of memory, but I think I have the song in my memory well enough. So let's take that song. I will first play it in its original form, and then we will change it into each mode that we've learned so far. And this is the order that we're going to go in. We're going to go in its original form first, and then we'll go into the Dorian mode, and then we'll go into the Mixolydian mode, and then we'll go into Ionian mode, and then lastly we'll finish with the Lydian mode. And there is a reason for that order. We can talk about that later. But I'll have some little time at the beginning, but I encourage you to pause before I play each mode so that you can try to play it yourself. I will have first the screen that shows which mode is coming up, and if you want to try to play at that point without any further reference, that would be great. And then the second point will be I will bring up the actual notes being used in that mode, and if you had a hard time figuring out what the notes were, then that will be the second place you could pause and try to play it. I'm not going to explain much else right now except to just give you the idea of how we change to a mode from a piece that's already written. If we have a piece, and let's just say that it's in A Ionian, for instance, the regular A major scale, and we want to change that into the A Lydian, for instance, we would look at the piece and see where all the D's are, because the D's are the fourth note in the scale. And for the Lydian mode, we change that fourth note of the scale into a sharp version of that note. So in this case, the D would become D sharp. So we would play our piece the same way as before, except every time we come across a D, we now play that as D sharp. So I won't say the rest of the modes, what we change. I think you understand it well enough that we can go through. But again, if you have questions, please send them at me. And I'm not ignoring your questions right now. I'm just using this video as a short little break. And in the next video, I will bring up the questions that you emailed to me. So let's go in. Let's hear the song in its original form first. And then I'll give you those two places that you can pause and try to play the mode before I let you hear what it sounds like. And that's all it's going to be for this video, so I will try to get the next video out to you soon. And until then, shoot me any questions that you have regarding this idea, or take this idea and try it with some other pieces. You'll find that sometimes this works really great on certain melodies. It's very easy to change them from one mode to the other without it sounding really bizarre and out of place. And then other ones, as soon as you try to change it, just feels really, really weird and it doesn't fit. And even if it's not something that you're that familiar with, even an unknown melody, for instance, it just doesn't feel like it fits. But I encourage you to experiment with this a little bit and shoot back any questions that you have. If you find that what you tried to do doesn't match what I played, that would be a good place for some questions. But that's enough talking, so let's jump over.
you